Okay, there we go. Alright. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to some more scary videos. Now I should check my sound settings too. Okay, there we go. Alright, so welcome to some more scary videos. Now, as you can tell from the title, we have a special one tonight. And that's because a YouTube channel by the name of Mr. Nightmare recently uploaded a paranormal videos countdown. And so I figure, since it's a rare occasion that he does this, that I would feature it on tonight's scare stream. So instead of 6 tonight, we have 7. Because we're going to be featuring his. And his is going to be the very middle one. So, first up for tonight, we have Top 15s. Top 15 scary videos that make no sense at all. So, I hope you're all ready, because we're going to have some fun here. Hold on. There we go. Alright, so go ahead and turn on display and get started.
Number 15. So this is an illusion that maybe you can help me figure out. A girl stands with her back turned and then somehow levitates, completely suspended in
Right here, there's a shadow of the brace lifting her up.
mid-air for nearly 20 seconds before coming down. Obviously, this has to be an illusion, because if she could really do this, she would do it facing us to prove it's real. The only thing I can't figure out is how she's able to do this at all. Looking at her shadows, it's clear that her feet are not touching the ground. I also notice a thin shadow that seems to connect her to the counter.
That's actually her foot. She's got both of her shoes tied to here. Yeah, that brace is actually her other foot.
I don't know what this object is, but I know it's not her arms. Here she puts her arms at her sides, and the shadow doesn't go away until well after. With that said, what do you think this could be? Number 14. For years now, strange, unidentifiable lights have been sighted over the Hawaiian city of Oahu, gradually changing appearances each time, but always making the heart race of whoever lays eyes upon it. This white squiggly shape is what they look like in 2014. It almost looks like it could be flares here, but I'm not so sure. One of the clearest and most popular videos comes from Mash Hate, who observed the Oahu lights as oversized orange orbs that seemingly replicate and grow in the sky from nothing. Soon they faded back into obscurity as silently as they came. The most recent sighting was taken in November of 2019, and this time the lights are much smaller and fly straight up. As you can see from these 3 videos. Number 13. This YouTube video posted by a user named Relly Kane doesn't have a source, but he claims it happened somewhere in Vermont. The creature looks a lot like the Rake, except there appears to be 2 long and possibly razor-sharp arms jutting ahead to support its weight as it moves. The legs look very small and unnatural at 14 seconds in, and at 42 seconds, you can see its arms are way too long to be a human.
I still haven't come up with a plausible explanation other than CGI for this one, but it looks too well made to be CG.
However, at the 55-second mark, it looks like it could possibly be someone in a costume, leaning on 2 walking sticks. So what do you make of this? Number 12. A YouTuber named Steve Huff records what he suspects could be a paranormal sighting. At the Longleat House in England, built in the late 1500s, a spirit descends the steps and then continues to walk in midair in heavy, plodding footsteps. Some people are claiming that this is some kind of hologram projection, while others say this is real. If you've ever been to the Longleat House in England, then let us know if this
looks like a projection, because look how bright the lighting is. It's even reflecting on the stairs. This has to be fake.
This is just a tourist attraction, so we can settle the rumors once and for all. Number 11. Will Wild's Outdoor Adventures is a YouTube channel focusing on interesting hikes through nature trails. This time, Will Wild is completely alone in the woods when he gets the feeling that he is being watched. His survival instincts tell him to pause and survey his surroundings, a decision that probably saves his life. Watch this part and tell me if you spotted anything before he zooms in, because I sure didn't.
Yeah, I see a black kind of mass like right around here.
There's a bear right there.
There's no doubt that he would have kept going straight into its clutches if he didn't think to zoom in first. It's standing dead center in the path and looking straight at him, so maybe if it was even waiting in ambush, he turns around instead, but that doesn't exactly mean he's safe yet. Bears are notoriously curious and will follow hikers for a long time, especially if they are protecting their territory. So now Will has to keep making noises to keep the bear at bay. He is absolutely terrified, but he has to sound as brave as he can as he backpedals down the narrow path while screaming, "Hey, bear!" As you can see, there is tall vegetation on both sides, and he expects to be a goner at any moment from an unseen angle. Also, one false step could leave him with a twisted ankle, and a wild bear steadily approaching.
Bear spray out.
Hey, bear! The trail even widens into a clearing, and he can see that he is not being followed. I think he took the best course of action considering the circumstances.
He stayed calm, sounded large and fearful. Or not fearful, fearsome. He didn't panic, he didn't run, because if he ran, he'd be barefoot.
But let me know what you're supposed to do in that situation, and if he made any mistakes. Number 10. This public official in Costa Rica is in the middle of a press release when a small wasp buzzes all around his face. The man is caught up with it.
I can't watch this one. I have a phobia of bees. I can't watch this one. The bee flies into his mouth. I'm sorry, I gotta skip this one, guys.
A YouTuber named Dan Baines is the keeper of Mr. Fritz, a ventriloquist dummy that was once used to entertain the troops during the 1940s. He's very old and has since fallen apart to the point where all that remains is his disembodied head. Mr. Fritz is believed to be possessed by the spirit of his creator, a man who lost his life in battle and refuses to rest in peace. Lately, Dan has been seeing and hearing things all around the antique, so he sets up a camera to record. It's 3:30 in the morning when the glass door pops open. I don't see a string. Do you? This happens again at around the same time the next night, except this time his eyes open. String or no string, watch this part and tell me how a wooden ventriloquist dummy can open its eyes with no one nearby. And if you zoom in for a closer look, you'll see two orbs race by shortly after the case opens. I'm not saying that this video is impossible to fake, but unless this is an electronic prop that is being controlled with a remote, then I don't see how it can be done. Number 8. In 2015, a hacker known only by the screen name Foster was able to infiltrate these road signs and change them to messages that would send panic to residents of Tucson, Arizona. These road signs, which normally were used to simply warn of an oncoming lane change, instead were changed to talk about nuclear fallout and other hazardous materials up ahead. Take a look at the passable font, lettering, and spacing. It all looks normal and has no indication of being a prank. Based on this video, do you think you would have known it was fake, or would it have been enough to panic you? Number 7.
I don't know.
A race car.
I don't know. Maybe when I was a kid, if I was a kid, I would panic from that. But these days, with technology the way it is, it's easy to hack stuff like
Driver
that.
finds himself in one of the worst predicaments possible when the steering wheel breaks off in his hands shortly after kicking it into high gear by itself. Judging by his right leg, it doesn't look like he hit the gas at all. The only thing left to do to keep from flying into the wall is pull the emergency brake, which he grabs immediately after fumbling a moment more with the now non-existent controls. The faraway look in his eyes at the end of it all says everything. He knows exactly how much danger he was in, and that he's lucky to still be alive. Number 6. This man's job is probably one of the most anxiety-producing careers in the world. Each day he has to check underwater pipes for clogs. You can't see anything down there, so the only way to check for clogs is to blindly feel around the outside of the pipe by hand. The red and black diver's outfit is the only thing separating his body from an entire system of stinking raw sewage. A single rip would flood him with endless waves of flesh-eating bacteria as he takes a final gulp of putrid wastewater. I think I seriously see duct tape around the gloves at the 5-minute 30-second mark, so I don't feel too good about this mission. Soon, he is in over his head in the muck and fumbling around deep below. Look at how much sharp trash is around him. Glass and other pieces of trash float around the open-air sewer. I honestly can't believe he feels safe enough to do this. But here's another part that is just giving me tons of anxiety.
No, ya. Con eso.
¿Puedes saber cuánta basura hay?
Sí, ya sabemos
¿Qué
cuánto.
te encontraste exótico ahí abajo?
Pues hay nada más, no veo yo abajo, entonces todo es tocando. Lo que hay es mucho pet.
He takes off his helmet and continues talking while covered in the germ-infested wastewater like it's no big deal. I mean, his face is fully exposed, and this just seems like the time to get out of the outfit immediately, not stand around and talk. Number 5. A man creeps up on an unsuspecting woman as she enters her code into an ATM, laying low until she enters her PIN and then taking over the transaction by force, nudging her out of the way to make an involuntary withdrawal. He is completely unconcerned with getting caught and wears no disguise whatsoever as the woman struggles from her car to stop him. He later repeats the plan again, hiding out of sight until the last second, and then leaping into the person's car to go after the large wad of cash in their hand. The fact that he was doing this during broad daylight shows that there is no safe time to be at an ATM, so you have to constantly be on guard. Number 4. Passengers on a ride at the state fair dangle helplessly high in the air, unable to do anything but wait to be let off as technicians struggle to manually gain control over each of the 3 spinning sections. These bizarre chittering noises, recorded in the middle of the woods at almost 3 a.m., were loud enough to rattle the glass of the window in its pain. Tell me if you can identify this creature, because the uploader is certain that this is a skinwalker. I personally have no idea what a skinwalker even sounds like, but if this person lives in the woods and has never heard anything
Sounds like a couple of fighting squirrels.
like this before, then I have no reason to doubt them. Number 2. It's 10 at night when a sphere of light travels across the living room of a YouTuber named Play With Me. Moments later, this spectral figure emerges from the same area where the light last went off to. Its see-through body is especially visible against the dark hardwood floor. As it crosses the room and walks straight through the door without opening it, there's no doubt that this is the sphere of a person. But is this editing or a real ghost is the real question.
I will say this, if it is editing, it's pretty good.
I've got a challenge for you. Sit and tap that follow button. 30 to find out. Number 1. A YouTuber named RJ32 is at the beach in Southern California when one of his kids sees a fast-moving round creature in the clear water. Watch this part and give me your best guess as to what this could be. And don't worry if you can't tell yet, because you and he are about to get a much closer look. RJ32 curiously walks over to where he last saw what he thinks was a flounder and starts kicking around. Panic sets in as he realizes he's uncovered a stingray that was trying its best to hide from him in the sand. I don't think the stingray is full grown, but take a closer look and tell me if I'm wrong. Mature or not, the tail seems like just the right size to go through your foot if you aren't careful. RJ32 gets a quick warning jab and is sent limping to the beach. If this is what a baby can do, I wouldn't like to see the work of an adult. Thanks for checking out this.
Alright, slow start. Not a whole lot of paranormal videos in that one. That's okay. Let's see. Okay. Next we got Slapped Ham. Chilling footage leaves viewers scared and confused.
How you doing? I'm Callan and this is Slapped Ham. Today we're looking at some scary videos that are starting to freak people out. So hit that subscribe button and get ready for more creepy content, just like this.
Alright, before I continue guys, I'm gonna move my daughter to her bed. Just go over there. I just need to get Mila. That works.
There's nothing more scary than driving down a dark road and suddenly noticing a person in your path. Or is there? This video, shared by Mitch Kuhn on Facebook, is leaving viewers confused and terrified. This footage was shot using a car's dashboard camera. The car was travelling down a moderately trafficked road in Queensland, Australia late one evening, when something terrifying and unusual happened. Take a look. On the far left side of the road, something appears that certainly shouldn't be on such a busy road in the dark. If you watch closely, you can see what appears to be a small child standing in the middle of the lane.
He just materialized out of nothing, though.
Viewers have determined that the child seems to be a young boy in pale blue clothing. As if spotting a child in such a dangerous place isn't terrifying enough, some viewers are convinced that this is no ordinary child. The kid is deathly pale and his clothing is so light in colour that it almost seems white. Examining him closely, he appears to be translucent. Additionally, the child stands in the road almost completely unmoving. If he were a real child, you'd think he'd be trying to desperately get off the dangerous road. These details have led many viewers to believe that the child is actually a ghost. Some more level-headed viewers suggested it could just be a statue or small mannequin that's been placed on the road as a prank.
Possibly.
Whether this figure is a child, ghost, or...
But what confuses me is that it just materializes out of nowhere. If it were a statue, we'd be able to, even from this distance...
Something else
even from this
entirely,
distance,
its appearance on...
it moves.
on the dark road is as unnerving as it is perplexing. As it is perplexing.
Here, let me slow it down. You can see one of its legs moving. Take a real close look. You know what? Here, in fact, let's go ahead and wind the screen for this. Look at it move. Look at its leg move. That leg moved. So it's not a
You
statue.
might expect some strange paranormal things to happen when in the presence of a psychic, such as ghostly voices or flickering lights. When a psychic made an appearance on a live TV show, viewers and the program's hosts were equally surprised when unexplained events started occurring in the studio. On this Mexican TV program, a psychic sits in the center of several hosts and guests discussing her unique abilities. The backdrop of the studio features an outdoor scene. There's a large glass window lined with artificial trees adorned with small bird cages. As the interview plays out, something off happens in the background. Take a look. Despite its appearance, this set is inside the studio itself, so there's no chance that wind could be blowing through the set. Yet, as the psychic's talking, an object falls down in the background, and one of the bird cages starts violently spinning in a tree branch, as if suddenly shoved by unseen hands. The hosts of the show look around startled, as if looking for an explanation for the strange activity. Viewers have been baffled by the strange events captured on live television. They believe it was the work of a ghost, perhaps even a poltergeist, a type of spirit strong enough to move objects in the physical world.
Or a more, logical explanation. Gravity.
Many viewers believe the alleged poltergeist that made itself known during the broadcast is in some way tethered to the psychic appearing on the program that day. Paranormal specialists believe spirits can attach themselves to specific people, places, or objects. Working with spirits on a daily basis, the psychic is a prime candidate for a spiritual hitchhiker. Hopefully this poltergeist sticks to mischief and doesn't cause the psychic too much harm. You wouldn't expect a demonic spirit to touch a Bible, one of the most holy objects in Christianity. However, in this clip shared by Avedio M, two paranormal investigators may have caught that very act on film. The clip was recorded by paranormal investigators Nikki Para-Unnormal and Carissa Fleck. In the footage, the two investigators film a heavily damaged Bible. The pages of the book are singed black as if it's been recovered from a fire. There's no explanation for how the damage occurred, but the burnt pages certainly make the footage creepier. At the start of the clip, it seems that the investigators have seen the pages of the Bible moving before they begin rolling the camera. They begin encouraging what they claim is a demon to move the pages again. Watch.
It's moving again. See that?
The camera records some slight twitching of the pages.
But that doesn't mean it's a ghost doing that.
The investigators claim that if the movement had been caused by a
If they had the air conditioner on, it could be moving that way.
breeze, there would have been much more movement to be seen.
If it was airflow, it would have kept going.
The pair continue encouraging the entity to move the pages again, stating that they know it takes a lot of energy to do so.
Flip the page. I know it's taking you a lot of energy. You're doing such a good job. Just keep doing it, okay? You're doing so good.
Eventually, their persistence pays off when a page of the Bible moves quite dramatically.
So good. Good job. Almost.
You got this.
Almost. You're so powerful.
The page inexplicably stands straight up, never falling to either side.
Come on.
This strange movement convinces the investigators that a demon is indeed among them. The footage is certainly creepy, but not everyone is convinced that demons are at work. They believe that the pages could have been blown by a draft in the room. Others think it was some other type of ghost and not a demon that caused the paranormal activity.
Yeah,
Though the real explanation is
it's kind of
unclear, this
far-fetched to say
footage
it's a
is
demon
certainly
though,
chilling
yes.
to watch. Love to get your take on it in the comments section below.
Keep doing it. Come on.
When photojournalist Parawit Katkul was driving down the Rama 9 highway in Bangkok, Thailand, he never expected to spot something that would end up going viral. It was around 6:30 PM and well after dark when Katkul spotted the strange occurrence. Take a look at what he saw. As you can see, a pale woman in a striped dress is sitting on the back of a nearby car. According to the witnesses, the car in question was most likely travelling around 50 miles per hour, far too quickly for anyone to want to sit out in the open air. To make this clip even more terrifying, look closely at the woman's hands. Even at this high speed, she doesn't appear to be holding on to anything. How is it possible she's managing to stay on the car without holding on? Investigators
That's
checked
creepy.
the car's license plate, concerned for the woman's well-being. They discovered that the registration had been cancelled by the Department of Land Transport, but previously belonged to a brown taxi. The car in the footage is clearly red and doesn't appear to be a taxi at all. A lot of half-serious explanations have been suggested by viewers, that the woman was a nagging wife being punished by her husband, or a cheapskate passenger looking for a reduced cab fare. Despite the jokes, the footage is haunting. Either the clip depicts a woman in serious danger, or a creepy ghost going for a joyride. Either way, it's easy to understand why witnesses were confused and terrified driving down the highway that night. Working at a service station restaurant probably comes with its own fair share of crazy stories. However, how many of them feature ghosts? At least one, if this video is to be believed. This subtly creepy video was recorded on a security camera at a service station restaurant in Mar del Plata, Argentina. We see a young waitress carrying a tray to a messy table, so she can clear off the dirty dishes and prepare the table for new customers. She begins picking up plates and cups when suddenly something weird happens. Take a look. As you can see, a glass on the table suddenly moves a few inches. The waitress pauses and looks around, searching for a reasonable explanation for the movement. The restaurant is indoors, so there's no chance that a strong wind could have caused the glass to move. The waitress eventually picks up the glass and examines it for anything strange that might explain the freak occurrence. The glass apparently looks normal as she sets it on the tray and glances around the room again, still searching in vain for a cause. The subtle nature of this strange video has most viewers believing that it's genuine. Some have wondered whether something tragic had at one point happened in the restaurant, suggesting a ghost caused the movement. Others thought perhaps condensation had caused the glass to move, nevertheless irking the waitress. So what do you think? Something paranormal, or is it just some simple physics at play?
If it was condensation, I think it would have moved more than that.
Let me know what you think down below.
If at all.
Many people agree that ghostly children are way scarier than other types of spirits. When strange things begin happening at a playground, many are quick to think that a youthful ghost is the culprit. This footage was shot when a resident of Nuku in Argentina was driving past a small local playground in his car. In the clip, he stops and pulls out his camera when he notices something unusual. One of the swings on the swing set appears to be moving on its own. You may be thinking that it isn't all that strange for a swing to move with no one around. Swings are light and can easily be pushed by the wind. The resident who recorded the footage states that a light breeze was indeed blowing that day. However, if you watch the video closely, you'll realise why viewers are so disturbed by this footage. There are 2 other swings, but neither of them are moving.
They're moving a little bit, but not as much as that one is.
If a simple breeze had been the reason the swing closest to the road was moving, then why aren't the other 2 swinging as well? In addition, you may notice that the speed at which the swing moves changes over the course of the video, so simple momentum couldn't be the cause either. At one point, it looks as though something lifts the swing up. So what could have made the swing move all on its own? If wind and momentum have been ruled out, then could something paranormal be at play? Perhaps the spirit of a local child has returned to the playground for one last ride on his favourite swing.
The only other thing I can think of is that kid was on that swing just moments before this guy pulled up and pulled his camera out.
Before we take a look at some chilling footage taken in an abandoned hospital, remember to hit that subscribe button, tickle that little bell icon there, and turn on all channel notifications. That way you'll be in the loop every time we drop our scary and mysterious videos. Here's a fun date idea: you and that thumbs up button can tickle the bell icon together. Urban exploration is a popular trend for YouTubers. Explorers track down abandoned locations and check out the creepy grounds with a camera in tow, so they can share their exploits with their viewers. Sometimes, such as in this video shared by YouTuber Love to Investigate, paranormal sightings occur at these abandoned locations. This particular video, paranormal sightings occur at these abandoned locations.
Look at that.
Love to Investigate, paranormal sightings occur at these abandoned locations. This particular video was shot at an abandoned asylum somewhere in South Wales. The YouTuber Kaylee Love has not disclosed the exact location so as to protect it from potential vandals. Love decided to check out the abandoned location in broad daylight, not expecting to spot anything paranormal. In fact, Love didn't see anything strange as she explored the property. It was only later that she realised she may not have been alone during her adventure. She posted the video to her YouTube channel. Later, one of her viewers noted that they had spotted something strange in the footage. Here's the clip, see if you can notice anything weird.
Smells like an hospital in this part, definitely. I wonder what...
As the camera pans past a doorway, you may catch a fleeting glimpse of a figure standing on the other side of the passage. A slow motion view shows that the figure appears to be a pale woman with long dark hair. She seems to be wearing a hospital gown, which suggests that this could be the spirit of a former patient. Because the YouTuber has not identified the exact location or the name of the abandoned hospital, it's impossible to learn more about who this spirit might be or why she's lingering in the abandoned building. However, it seems clear that for some reason, her soul is not at rest.
Smells like an hospital in this part, definitely.
If you want to see some more scary videos, for some reason is lingering. It's impossible to learn more about exact location.
Are you also not going to address the other paranormal sighting?
To her YouTube channel later. Occur at these abandoned.
Okay, Let me show you. Not this hallway, but the other hallway that she pans to. It looks like it looks like two pale white figures jolt up and look at her down and look at her down the hallway.
Locations.
See that? Here. Let me. For those of you who might not have gotten a good enough look, I'm going to enlarge the screen here.
Locations.
We're not going to address that either. Alright. It's your channel, you do what you want with it, but that was weird. Alright. Now, before we continue with the next one, I need to go get some more water and put this back in the fridge. Alright, I'm back. Okay. Okay. Next we got from King Frostmare scary videos that you cannot unsee tonight.
Hello guys, today it is time to look at some new scary videos again that you hopefully have never seen before. And now without further ado, let's buckle up and stay frosty. The following video was posted to the paranormal section by user Lucky1196. The user uploaded this short clip and asked the community, what did I record that night? Is this a ghost or a headless burning man? Maybe a creepy looking mannequin. What is that? He was on a nightly trip with his motorbike, and after stopping for a quick break, he took his helmet off and was looking for something in his backpack. He states that after enabling the flashlight, he also started a video recording, which was accidental. He noticed something really weird in the background when checking the video.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed too. It's like, what the heck was that?
The man was sure to have been alone that night at that location. There should have been nobody else there. Yet, a figure can be seen, possibly missing its head. How is this possible? Is it an apparition perhaps? Or how else could we explain this?
It's creepy. I think he had a real paranormal experience that night. If we believe his claim
He
that...
definitely creeped
If we believe his claim that his camera turning on was an accident.
the man out.
Love you. Ghost boy.
The next case was reported by user Marlene Anna White. She states
Part 2 of why I haven't posted part 2. Does that make sense to anyone else?
that her apartment seems to be a place of lots of mysterious activity. In her mind, there's no doubt that this place is extremely haunted. Apparently she's seeing and hearing things in there that make her and her child really uneasy. It all started with inexplicable shadow sightings that were seen at night, but they mostly were seen just for a few seconds before disappearing again. One day though, while using the bathroom, she was seeing something quite terrifying unfolding right in front of her in the shower, a sighting that made many believe that her apartment might be haunted by a ghost child. After sharing this incident, people asked if she herself might have lost a child, and this was her reply.
Yes. Back in 2013 I was 25 weeks pregnant. He was a stillborn.
So, could it be that the spirit of her lost son was visiting her and the family? This is the recording that shook her to the core.
I only have one baby at my house today. The rest of them are with grandma. You can clearly hear my baby in the living room crying. I was on the toilet when I felt like something was watching me. I've been on edge ever since I took a picture and my dad was behind me by the door. So I decided to turn the camera on and record. This is not my dad. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I saw this clip in last week's Saturday Night Scares, and I just kind of wrote it off as poor editing and all that, but now that there's an actual backstory to it, this one just makes me sad more than it makes me scared. Wow.
Is this a ghost child? It certainly has the height of a child.
Who are you?
To show her skeptics that it was not one of her own children, her son steps into the shower to showcase that his silhouette looks completely different.
Stand in the shower real quick so I can show people something, please.
So, if it's not him, who else was it in your opinion? What a spooky recording. The next recording was sent by Jamie, and it was captured by a man who was living alone in an apartment complex. He shared this encounter on Reddit, which freaked him out quite a bit, so it was said at least. There have been strange incidents taking place over the past several months now, however, nothing that was really worrying for him. He started recording these incidents though, for his video diary. The night in question, it all started with the sink that just turned on by itself. This happened before, but he couldn't capture it on video in the past. But there was something else going on that night. Take a good look.
Nice try. It was a decent attempt at a jump scare, but this is obviously a fake.
A terrifying face is appearing on the other side of the kitchen window, and when the man checks it one more time, he can't find any trace of it.
I'm
The
not
face
buying
is
it.
white and the eyes are just two black holes. If nobody was pranking him that night, or this occurrence was just edited in, was it a malevolent entity that was visiting? Who can say?
I'm sorry, but the spooky music that was put into the video, it doesn't convince me.
The next video was recorded by the security camera of a family in Michigan. Heather and Joseph are parents to a little baby girl. They have one of their cribs situated in the living room area to keep her close to them. What's strange is that the two believe that their place is haunted. Apparently an entity has already attacked both of them, and even her little toddler Lily. The young mother even states that one morning something was grabbing her by the neck after just waking up in her bed. After talking to a paranormal expert who investigated the place, they came up with the conclusion that the former resident of this apartment might still be lingering. He died in there, by the way. One evening, the nanny camera captured the following apparition walking by the crib in the living room.
I remember that clip.
Are we looking at the former owner here? Or what could this mysterious capture mean? The next video was sent by Simon F, and he told me that he found it on a random Reddit thread. Unfortunately, without writing down the uploader, we are seeing another family home, and another young mother is spending some time with her newborn and her little daughter. And yet again, it is said that the home of this family has some really unusual things happening once in a while. In the following recording, we see the young mother watching television, and her older daughter is about to leave the living room. However, this doesn't go as planned. Her mother is sure that something pushed her forcefully, and the little girl stated that it felt like an ice-cold wall that was hitting her. Strange. Unfortunately, it is unknown what exactly caused this wall to appear. Do you have an explanation?
I don't. That one was... Wow, that one was creepy.
Next is a really unsettling capture that was shared by Untidy Hexagon. He states the following. The story behind this capture is very bizarre. I took it when I was about 5 or 6 years old, when we lived in a house that we always thought was extremely haunted. We were seeing shadows, entities move around and hearing things being thrown. It became a normality for us. One late evening, I was sitting on my mom's lap taking pictures of myself. She had one of those big bulky chairs, which she had placed in a corner. Behind the chair was a small space, although not nearly enough space for anyone to fit in. Either way, I was snapping away at her phone, taking pictures. I was using her old Nokia phone, so I had to use the rear camera to take pictures of myself. After taking 5 pictures of myself in a row, I decided to look through them. However, the third picture was far from funny. I'll never forget the feeling I felt throughout my body. It was like I felt the sudden urge to just run away. My mom asked me what was wrong. I remember her face when she saw this strange entity as well. Her jaw literally dropped, and that's when I knew it was real. I could tell she was trying to keep her cool, for my sake, but was really terrified. We looked through the photos together to see if maybe, just maybe, the picture had come from somewhere else. But it hadn't. It was taken right after the other 2 pictures before it. There was even 2 last pictures of my silly face after it. So, what do you guys think? Could they capture something sinister visiting them that evening? Or somebody else from the afterlife?
That is weird. If it's real, but it could just as easily be a Photoshop.
I don't mean any harm. I just heard a noise up here.
The next videos were recorded by a couple that also documented some really terrifying poltergeist activity in their home. After moving in, the channel owners of Amercade Haunting started filming what they describe as the most bone-chilling encounters that they have ever witnessed. Hoping that these events had a rational explanation at first, that something else seemed to have taken hold of their house.
Can you please move something on the shelf? What the? Going down. That's the love shit.
Besides this entity scaring the 2, it also seems to have a disliking for their German Shepherd.
Where's your boy? What's up?
Whoa! Okay.
And one of the most frightening nights shaped out to be the following one, when this poltergeist activity made its way into their kitchen. One night they have captured this face-like thing in the reflection of the cabinet door. Could this be the entity? And another night, the owner heard some strange noises outside his room and snapped this. A shadow entity seems to be standing there, a childlike one perhaps. Could it be the reason for all this activity? Who can say? Thank you guys so much for watching.
Wow, those were some pretty scary ones there. Alright guys, the moment that you've been waiting for. Mr. Nightmare. We don't get a whole lot of content from him when it comes to actual paranormal video reactions and all that, so 6 paranormal videos to keep you up at night.
A Redditor by the name of Jessica shared footage she recorded in the Airbnb she was renting. There wasn't supposed to be anybody else in the rental, and she didn't even meet the owners as the keys were left in the mailbox. Shortly into her stay, she was getting ready to take a shower when she started hearing sounds from inside the walls. She rushed to get her camera and get the sounds on video. This is what she captured. As you can see, after finding a sealed ventilation duct and pulling the seal off of it, the terrifying voices of people speaking Latin became much clearer and sound as though they were speaking the Trinitarian formula and other religious phrases. Strangely, the voices apparently fell silent abruptly, But that wasn't where the nightmarish experience ended for Jessica. That night, with the bathroom door open and the bathroom light on, a picture was taken of her as she was sleeping, and the person who took the picture was holding a note in front of the camera that said, "It's rude to eavesdrop."
Okay.
This was the security footage recorded one rainy night in Huacho, Brazil. In the recording, a confused-looking woman is seen walking through the street in the rain, and at first this seems relatively normal, nothing too unusual, until the woman seems to slowly disappear as she gets closer to the bottom of the screen, until she vanishes altogether.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this clip. I remember my final conclusion with this one is that it was a video artifact of a woman that was walking down that way earlier in the day that just got carried over into that shot.
And zoomed in, you can also see the woman seems scantily dressed for the weather conditions seen in the video. Sure, someone can say it's just a smudge on the screen or perhaps some other digital problem. However, moments later, a motorcycle passes by in the same region in which the woman seemed to vanish, yet it's completely visible. And then the same could be said with the truck as it makes its turn, completely visible. It also appears that the driver of the truck may have been reacting to what he also just witnessed to be a vanishing woman. Whether this was just camera trickery or really a wandering apparition is up to the viewer to decide. This video was captured in Costa Rica on someone's home security camera. At an off hour in the night, out from the woods comes a bizarre, horrifying looking creature. At first, one might assume it's just a person doing some kind of crab walk, or if this were Australia, they would just assume it's another spider. But you don't even have to watch too closely to ask why or how the arms and legs would be the same length if this were a person. If it was just a person contorting his or her body, the creature wouldn't appear as long as it does and would most likely have a noticeable lump in its back from them contorting their torso. Also, based on the dog's reactions, this was not the work of CGI, as they were reacting to something that's actually there and cause for alarm. This fourth video was taken from the Japanese
I still have no idea what that one is.
YouTube channel Omogotoki Films. Their channel focuses on exploring haunted locations and capturing paranormal events on video. In January of this year, the owners of the channel were contacted by a real estate agent regarding a house he's been having trouble selling, due to the fact that the house used to be owned by a family that mysteriously disappeared in 2013.
僕が前勤めていた不動産屋さんの元先輩、何やら僕らに対してちょっと一度見てほしい物件。
その古い戸建てを会社で買ったんだけど、急に飛び込みできた人で、いくらで売りたいか聞くじゃん。で、そしたらもう本当破格の
売り主さんが持っていたその土地の上に3人の家族が家を建てて住み始めたらしいんですよね。ただ今から6、7年ぐらい前にある日を境にその3人
All of the previous owner's belongings were left in the house, adding to the mystery. The real estate agent refuses to even enter the house, as he believes there's a dark entity in the house, and he hopes that they would be able to search the house and find any kind of explanation, as this is what they do for a living. The agent mentions to them to make sure to keep all the doors shut while investigating the house, but doesn't mention why. As the two are exploring this closet, they notice something after reviewing the footage. See if you can find it.
ほら、もう全部開いてるもん。
Oh yeah, I remember this. Feet right there.
もう全部開いてるもん。
If you didn't see it, behind a clothes rack, you can see two bare feet underneath. This isn't the last time they can be seen. As they search a nearby room, the feet can be seen again, this time much closer and visibly barefoot. Later on in the night, One of the two decided to place a camera in the dark and sit in one room, waiting for something to happen. After about 15 minutes, he decided to investigate other rooms, while still remembering to shut all the doors behind him.
Yeah, I'd be getting out of there.
As you just saw, there was a face looking in through the door, but as he approaches, it disappears. There's no one outside the door. It could be speculated that the house is haunted by the family that mysteriously disappeared almost a decade ago. This was some alleged sighting of La Llorona. La Llorona is known as a ghost who roams waterfront areas mourning her drowned children. This video was captured in León, Guanajuato, Mexico. The video is of a man running from what resembles La Llorona.
No mames. Mamá.
In the video, if you slow it down and zoom in, the figure in the distance resembles a woman in a white dress crying and yelling. The man was coming home from a party around 3 o'clock in the morning when he encountered the woman in front of him. As he starts to run in fear, the woman starts shouting at him, not
I also noticed that same figure appearing 2 other times in the video.
making any sense of what she's saying. The man allegedly died 3 days after this sighting, and the cause of death was ruled a heart attack. This video was recorded in November of 2020, and it's just recently getting noticed. This was the footage captured by Russian YouTuber Dark Ghost. He posts high-quality ghost hunting videos, and this one might be one of the scariest. A woman had written to him about her deceased son who was obsessed with the paranormal and finding out what happens to the human soul after death and the afterlife. One day he told his mother that he discovered a way to contact deceased relatives, and he traveled to the abandoned village where his late grandmother lived. A week later, the mother received a call from the son, saying he was hearing the voices of his grandparents among other entities. This call was the last that was heard of the son, and his body was found on the streets of the village. The cause of death was ruled to be acute heart failure. The mother asked Dark Ghost to visit the grandparents' old house where the son would often visit, and this was some of the footage he captured. Various sounds such as footsteps and knocks can be heard throughout the video, and on multiple occasions, doors and cabinets can be seen swinging open or closed on their own.
Oh, I see that.
If you didn't see it, a black shadow can be seen floating across the screen clear as day.
Либо шкаф, если грохочет, я не понимаю, либо комод. Опа.
Next, he enters a creepy red room populated.
Did anyone notice that? Watch the lighting dim.
Next, he
Did you see that? It's like the spirit was walking in front of him and out the room.
enters a creepy red room populated with disturbing pictures that the woman's son would collect and bring to the house.
That's unsettling.
Вроде бы как.
Why did he collect these pictures, man? That's
Ну вообще всего такого как бы
nerve-wracking.
фотографий таких.
Ugh. I'm gonna chill just looking at these pictures.
Это просто жесть.
This is definitely one of those houses that an explorer should not go to alone. Based on the events in this video, there may have been someone or something in the house with him, watching him the entire time. Could it be the spirit of the woman's son? Or perhaps a much more hostile entity? Or could it all just be trickery? As usual, that's up for you to decide.
That was a great lineup there, Mr. Nightmare. Yeah, I gotta say, you need to start doing more countdown videos like that. Alright, next is Chills. 9 scary videos you won't be able to finish.
Get ready for some scary videos that only the bravest people can finish, along with my live reactions. Number 9. YouTuber Uliler says that for a while now, he would close a door at night and then the following morning, he would awake to find that it was open without any explanation. One day he says that while in the kitchen, he saw something terrifying in the glass, and so he decided to see if he could capture it, this time on camera. So it looks like he checks the room out first. Oh, do you guys see already right there that face starting to pop up? Oh, and just like that it disappears. Oh, and there it is again. You can start to see it pops up in pretty much the exact same spot. Oh, and there's a hand as well. Did you guys see that? And now you can just very faintly hear crying in the background. He checks the room out and there's clearly nothing there. If this were to only happen once during the recording, I would understand why some people may be hesitant to call this 100% authentic footage of the paranormal, but the fact that it happened several times seems extremely genuine. Some people in the comments of this video have realized that this is the last video Uliler has ever uploaded to his YouTube channel, causing some to be worried about his safety. Hopefully he will surprise us all and upload again in the near future. Number 8. Equilibrium Collective is a professional horror and paranormal
Yeah, I've seen that clip before and I have no explanation for that.
investigation show on YouTube that showcases videos filmed by their subscribers documenting the real-world paranormal incidents and encounters. One video on their channel in particular, however, is incredibly interesting and is sure to send shivers down your spine. The video, filmed inside a bedroom, seems to be normal enough until this happens.
There are a few dust particles floating about, but what is this?
Oh, do you guys see that?
What?
I'm gonna just go back again, once again here. So focus on the chair. This appears to be I would say a hospital room. You may not have noticed, but there is somebody in a hospital bed tucked away in the corner here. But I want you to focus on this chair here.
Is this
And see that floating away.
paranormal? What do you think?
That is extremely creepy. It genuinely seems as if some sort of ghostly apparition was paying whoever was laying down in the bed off in the corner a visit. A lot of people swear by ghosts and say that sometimes they feel their passed away loved ones nearby and stopping to say hello, and it looks like that may be what happened here. If it's not paranormal in nature, then I have no clue what could have caused this strange mist in the room, because no windows of any sort were open. Either way, this is certainly an eerie piece of footage I won't forget anytime soon. Number 7. Over in the r/ghosts subreddit, a user uploaded this unsettling and unexplainable video that was filmed late at night in a Costa Rican neighborhood. So clearly the dogs are quite upset. And just look at how it walks. And the fact that dogs follow it as it walks down the street shows that they are also quite concerned about what this is. This seems more like a creature sighting than a ghost sighting though, so I'm not sure why it's in this subreddit, also with the amount of upvotes that it has. But nevertheless, it is certainly creepy. For the first few seconds of the video, it is clear that something is wrong because of the dogs barking at a mysterious presence off screen. The barking continues for a while until the creature in question shows itself and seems to be moving around on 4 legs. Opinions on this figure are divided, with some believing it is nothing more than somebody in a bodysuit moving around, while others are not so sure. Some people say that it looks like a weird crab-like creature, although the uploader thinks it may be a ghost. Number 6. A man is enjoying his meal at a Japanese restaurant while filming for a cooking show and is trying to unwind for the night with a couple of crew members as they spark up a conversation, but as it turns out, they may have had some extra company that they certainly did not intend to invite. Oh, right there. You can definitely see that face, and it's just sort of floating. Just even the fact of how high up that face is on the door, it almost looks like as if the person is floating, especially considering you can't see anything else besides their head, not even a neck or torso. We can only hope that this scary face peeking in at the man and the camera crew from behind the door was just another crew member, but it could very easily be something much more terrifying. If this is a ghost, then it seems as though none of the people in the room know.
I mean, you know, if you're standing just the right way, you can kind of turn your back to the side like this and just kind of peek your head out and not have to show your body. So it's possible.
Noticed, because whenever the face comes into view, nobody says a word about it. It's hard to find a lot of details regarding this video, so for now everything about it remains a big mystery. Number 5. A couple of investigators behind the popular YouTube channel Ogden Paranormal are venturing out to an extremely creepy abandoned asylum known as the Old Tool Hospital in the hopes of capturing something scary on camera. Judging by this piece of video evidence, it seems like they may have gotten their wish. Watch the arrow. It's pointing to this window, but look especially in the bottom left corner. Right there. They're about to show it in a replay again, and they actually draw an outline, but if you look very closely you can see the figure of somebody, a head and a torso, peer in through the window and then peer out as they walk into the room. Right there, they do the outline of it. And now you know exactly where to look. It just becomes very, very clear the more times you watch it about just how much of a human that looks like. And this part right here is they're talking about how it can't be the reflection of this because it doesn't appear as a reflection would. And they do have an example from earlier in the night as further proof that this is not a reflection. Right there, you can definitely see the outline there. The outline of the mysterious figure can be a little difficult to see, but if you look hard enough, it is definitely there. Once Kenzie pans the camera to where the figure is, it vanishes into thin air. Also, the uploaders state that this isn't a reflection of the glass because the figure in the video appeared as all black. Let's just hope that the folks over at Ogden Paranormal don't go back to the old Tool Hospital, because who knows, maybe next time the spirit within won't be as reserved. Number 4. Devil's Hour Productions is a popular YouTube channel best known for their various paranormal investigations, and one particular upload from
they're called that because they always do their investigations at 3 a.m.
last year. The group is exploring an unsettling building and are about to conduct their investigation when something unexpected happens.
It's probably just a back spasm. It's probably just a back spasm.
Wait, your back's burning?
Oh my god. She can't do that herself.
Go for it.
Look at
Into the light.
Into the light. There's that. I told you. Look, right here and right here.
I do see it.
So they're about to show with another light on that really shows these scratch marks better. But if you look here, here, and there's 3 scratch marks that go down her back.
She can't do that.
That's a wide one. And right before you
Put
your head down.
See right there.
There's big scratches.
1, 2, 3. And that was before I had it back.
3. Yours is 2.
I see another one right there. I see 4.
Actually, I liked hers better on the camera.
Freaky.
Deal with what they're dealing with. Starting to feel this weird tingling sensation around my legs again.
What the is that?
Dealing with it. Starting to feel this weird.
Do you hear that? It's very nicely described here. An unexplained yell. Right there.
This weird tingling sensation around my legs again.
What the was that?
Dealing with it. Starting to feel this weird tingling sensation around my legs.
That is also just very bizarre. What do you think those screaming noises were? And do you think they were paranormal spirits? Of course, it is hard to come up with a definitive answer, but as is the case with all ghost videos, everything is up for interpretation. Number 3. Reddit user Lucky1196 shared a video to the r/Chills Narrator subreddit, which seems to have been filmed in some sort of office or front desk area of a building. The video starts off normal enough with a couple of guys approaching the man behind the desk, but it quickly turns into something much more unsettling. So right there, you can clearly see the chairs move with enough force that it pushes this door here. And it definitely gets both of their attention. This man is all business. And they get right back to what they were talking about before it happens again, and this time it's much more noticeable. and they both run out of the room, clearly terrified. What I find the most interesting about this video is just how much force these chairs would need to be pushed with to knock that door closed. At first, it seems like the chairs are moving all on their own. Could have been the result of a paranormal presence making itself known by simply moving the chairs and not causing any harm. But as soon as the building begins to shake, which causes everybody to flee the scene immediately, it's immediately evident that this is the work of a paranormal entity, and it is certainly not a friendly one.
No.
Number 2, in May of 2015, a YouTuber and photographer by the name of Phil Coach conducted a quick little paranormal investigation at an eerie, rundown, abandoned house at an undisclosed location.
Hello? Anybody in here?
Wow. So he very much enhanced the audio so it's much easier to hear, but very clearly a female voice can be heard saying hello back. Let's play that one more time.
Hello? Anybody in here? Anybody in here? Anybody at home? Anybody?
That grandfather clock TV. There it goes. That would be enough to send me running too. Let's watch that one more time.
Hello? Anybody at home? Anybody?
Freaky. Sadly, it seems as though Phil has not returned to the house to investigate a little further, since he has not published a follow-up video on his YouTube channel, but hopefully he will in the near future, and we can solve this mystery once and for all. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, buy tea and tap that follow button to find Big Pat out number 1. This video, published to Reddit by Big Pappy Thunder, shows the uploader heading outside and questioning his dog as to what exactly he is barking at so late at night. The uploader looks around and cannot seem to find anything, but his dog continues to walk forward, so the owner follows him. But it's only a few seconds later that a startling discovery is made.
Whoa, okay.
Did you guys see it there? It's very, very quick. Pay attention to right about here on the screen. One more time.
Stop barking, bud. What's wrong?
How freaky is that? And the most interesting part to me is just how it seems like the dog obviously knows something's out there but doesn't seem to spot it, and neither does the cameraman. Interestingly, at the time of the video's recording, the uploader did not notice the shadow figure blurring past his fence at a rapid speed, and it's not hard to see why. It appears for only a fragment of a second before disappearing completely. The uploader thinks that the dog was simply barking at his own shadow, but I cannot imagine how terrified he must have been upon reviewing the footage back and seeing the figure in plain view in his own backyard. Prepare yourself, these videos.
Alright, next up. From Sir Spooks. 5 scary videos you should not watch alone.
Hello everyone, my name is Sir Spooks, and today we'll take a look at 5 scary videos to watch if you dare. In this video published to Facebook by a man named Mitch Kuhn, we see dashcam footage of him driving late at night or very early in the morning, and for the first few seconds everything seems to be going perfectly fine. But out of nowhere, this happens.
Saw this one earlier tonight. Oh, that's my wife's snoring.
There are only a few comments on this video, but all of them are in agreement that whatever was walking across the road is indeed very creepy. One commenter points out that this figure has a shadow, meaning that it probably isn't faked or edited. And if it is, the person that did so had to have done a terrific job. But if this is real, then what is this figure? Is it a ghost, or is it something else entirely?
I have
Let
no
me know
idea.
what you think
I
in
still
the
don't know
comments.
what it is. It's creepy.
They always say that you're supposed to be extremely quiet while you're in the library, so you do not disturb the quiet and bother everybody else around you. But as you will soon see in this video, this particular library didn't really follow its own rules. The library in question is the Safety Harbor Public Library located in Florida. The footage, which was filmed at 5:36 a.m., creeped out the employees and owners of the library because of what happens during the recording. Take a look.
Oh, one book fell. That's it? Just one
A
book?
lot of people in the comments seem to be convinced that this video is indeed real, although of course it is possible that this was faked, or nothing more than a loose book finally falling off the shelves.
That's my
But it
first
is also
thought.
possible that this book flew off the shelf as a result of an unseen otherworldly visitor.
It was like 4 or 5 books, then yeah, I would say it's paranormal, but
A man on YouTube going by the username Social
I'm not saying that it was fake, but it's not paranormal.
is relaxing in a boat and fishing, and is trying to enjoy the warm sunny day outside. For a while he's doing exactly that. He seems to have no worries in the world, but that soon changes when he begins to hear something utterly creepy and unexplainable. Take a look and have a listen.
Those birds freaked out. What the hell is that noise? I'm going over there. I need to hear whatever the hell's happening over there. Hey, do y'all hear that screaming? Is that something I should be, like, worried about?
Yeah, I wouldn't be going near the screaming, you know, especially in a tunnel like that. It could be just homeless crackheads.
Whew. I think my day's about to be ruined. Ugh. Are you okay?
The man proceeds to row the boat towards where he thinks the source of the sound was coming from, but strangely he is unable to find anything whatsoever. Eventually he calls the police, but when they arrive, they are unable to find anything or anybody in the vicinity that was screaming. Interestingly, one commenter says that at one point it sounds like the woman is saying, "They're killing me," in Spanish. If this was genuinely a woman in danger, we can only hope that she got the help she so desperately needed before it was too late. Chris from the YouTube channel Urbex Hill is back at it again, and this time he's exploring an old abandoned school called the Central Academy, which is said to be quite haunted. But of course, seeing as how Chris has done this type of thing before, he decides to go in and have a look to see if there's anything of interest. Just 2 minutes into the investigation, while nearing the school's locker room, something very chilling happens that Chris doesn't seem to notice.
Oh yeah, the head peeking out.
A little while later, while exploring a dark and dreary hallway, something very similar happens that is equally terrifying.
I'm spotting it this time. It's right here. There's the head. Gone. I remember that one.
At this point in the investigation, Chris hasn't noticed anything happening whatsoever, but is continuing to look around nonetheless. Just as he nears his final minutes of investigating, he experiences a few more chilling things before he can exit. Listen to this. As mentioned earlier, it doesn't seem that Chris noticed anything watching him from behind the pillars and windows, but if you look closely, you can make out what appears to be some sort of mysterious shadow figure keeping a close eye on him. One thing is for sure, when he reviewed the footage later on, he definitely had quite the scare awaiting him. You may remember a while ago on the channel, I featured a chilling video on TikTok by the user DinoNugget741, and now it seems as if he is back with yet another terrifying piece of footage to show the world. The uploader says he has a haunted basement and is going downstairs to investigate, probably because he may have just heard some sort of noise coming from within it, prompting his curiosity to get the better of him. When he goes to look a little bit further into the situation, he stumbles upon something horrifying.
Come on, man. Shit. I know, bud. I'm not afraid, man. Come on out, man. Yes. Hello.
Oh yeah, this guy. So. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. So the figure finally has a face, huh?
By looking at the enhanced image of the figure on the bottom right corner of the screen, you can tell that this figure is definitely some sort of shadow person or creature lurking inside this basement. Whereas most people would be too scared to investigate after seeing it, this guy proceeds to look around the basement and, as you saw, proceeds to get closed in as the door shuts on him while ascending the staircase. Hopefully this guy doesn't have to deal with more ghosts in the near future. And that was 5 scary videos to watch if you dare.
Oh, I dared. I dared. Alright, guys. This is it. Last one for the night. Nuke's Top 5. Top 5 scary ghost videos that'll make you cry for Mama! Hey, where's Mama? Mom! I love you.
Top 5 ghosts caught on camera. Don't wake the baby. Italian YouTubers Paolo, Debbie, and Simona from the YouTube channel PIT, Paranormal Investigation Team, were contacted by one of their viewers about a spooky local legend in a dark forest. The legend says that there's a certain tree in the woods, and underneath it sits an old abandoned stroller. Then, above the stroller, there's a bell attached to one of the tree's branches. Locals believe that in the stroller rests the spirit of a baby who tragically passed away under mysterious circumstances many years ago. Furthermore, it's believed that if anyone nearby makes too much noise, the spirit of the baby wakes up and the bell in the tree starts to ring. But even more ominous, it is said that when the bell rings, an evil entity comes to protect the spirit of the infant, and this entity will attack whoever disturbed the child. The PIT Paranormal Investigation Team traveled.
That's quite a claim to make. You got me intrigued. As always, Nukes. You got me intrigued.
To the mysterious forest and wait until nightfall. They search through the woods and eventually find the tree and the stroller. They put an EMF detector inside and just wait.
No, ma neanche a me proprio zero. Mamma mia. Raga, brilla! Raga, sta brillando! Sta brillando! Sta brillando! Sta brillando! Oh, la campana! La campana! Ma non si sta muovendo più di tanto, eh? Io ero lì, Io ero lì, quindi adesso?
Non si sta muovendo.
Ma poco. Ma rumore l'ha fatto,
Ti prego, dimmi che è stato il vento.
Non lo so. Ha suonato. Ha suonato
dopo che ha brillato l'M1.
Quindi adesso?
E quindi che ne so adesso?
Non mi piace. No.
Quindi adesso in teoria, se è giusta la leggenda, sta arrivando qualcosa.
Sì. Esatto.
The bell rings, which according to the legend means that the baby has been disturbed and that the evil entity is coming for them. Both Debbie and Simone are more than a little freaked out and already feel surrounded by something that is lurking in the woods. But Paolo wants to see more. He grabs the stroller and starts to threaten the entity, yelling aloud that he will take the baby away. What happens next is downright chilling.
Poi non so se è suggestione, raga.
Cosa?
Io mi sento tirare la carrozzina.
Che senso ti senti tirare la carrozzina?
Come se dall'altra parte ci fosse qualcun altro che come se me la stesse togliendo dalle mani. Me la sta spingendo.
Mollala. Io dalla termica non vedo assolutamente niente. Per dirtelo. Mollala. Io dalla termica non vedo niente di strano, guarda.
Oh, guarda! Si muove! Si muove! Si muove!
Paolo, te l'ho detto. Paolo, l'hai provocata.
L'ho filmata. Ha funzionato. Ok, è qua. È qua. Ok. Ho funzionato. Ok. È qua. Ok.
Paolo explains that he feels like someone is trying to push the
Alright, I thought I saw a face appear right behind Paolo.
stroller away from him. When he lets go, the stroller eerily just moves on its own. The team no longer believes that they're alone in the woods, and they hear the unexplained sound of running footsteps all around them.
Oh, cos'è laggiù? Raga! No. Raga!
Cosa?
Vi giuro l'ho vista passare. Ho visto passare qualcosa. Raga, l'ho filmato, sono quasi sicuro. Ho stretto la torcia.
Cosa?
Raga, è passata una persona laggiù. È passato qualcosa laggiù. Non un animale.
The creepy figure of what appears to be a woman can be seen quickly running through the dark woods. Could this be the evil entity that is said to come when the bell rings? Is it possible that this female spirit could be protecting the long-abandoned spirit of the child in the stroller? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. PIT Paranormal Investigation Team is now releasing their investigations in both English and Italian.
I don't know if this is real, but if you're loud, the baby's gonna wake up.
So you can watch this full 3-part series in English or Italian over on their YouTube channel. The Nightly Visitor. Chris Kolkman from the Netherlands recently reached out to me through email, explaining that his family has been experiencing some very strange activity in their house. Chris says that his 5-year-old son has been having terrible trouble falling asleep ever since the little boy's grandmother passed away. The 5-year-old would wake up in the middle of the night, making the typical claim of any frightened child, that there was, quote, something scary in his room. The boy repeated this multiple nights until finally Chris decided to buy a motion detection camera to prove to the child once and for all that there was simply nothing there. But instead, the camera captures something downright creepy. Now obviously, because of the potato quality of the camera, it's hard to tell exactly what is going on here. All that we can make out is a strange dark shape that seems to move and disappear along the side of the boy's bed. Now, after reviewing the footage and seeing this bizarre incident, Chris decides to buy a new, higher quality camera. And sure enough, the camera captures something. Another unexplained dark shape seems to move right next to the boy as he sleeps. It almost looks like the translucent shape touches the boy's hand, and the child even seems to react to the touch in his sleep. Another night, and Chris is laying in bed with his son to comfort him, waiting until the boy falls asleep so that he can sneak out of the room. But then, this happens.
Nee, spijt me. Maar je slaapt nog niet eens. Ik sliep wel, maar toen opeens...
Ja, mama liep wat vallen, schat.
Oh,
Gebeurt er dat hier?
ja.
Books sitting on top of a
It's a bad book. I'm sorry, that was cute.
shelf suddenly get tipped over and fall hard onto the floor. Chris and his son wake up and the boy's mother quickly hurries into the room to see if the two are okay. Both Chris and his wife have no idea what just happened. So are Chris and his family haunted by an invisible entity that only his son can see?
I think they are.
And if not, then just what is this? Let me know what you think.
At first I thought it was a
If you see a
mouse.
video that you think would be perfect for the top 5, or if you have a ghost hunting channel and you caught something great, contact me at nukestop5@gmail.com. Aldo sees something. Indian YouTuber Robbie from the YouTube channel Biryani Man and his friends set out to explore an abandoned house in Madras, India. The four friends don't know much about the house other than that the building was abandoned because the property is said to be extremely haunted. Once inside, they find something very disturbing. Team member Vicky is a bit upset by an old rope hanging from the ceiling inside one of the rooms, but the other guys don't really seem to think much of it. But then, YouTuber Robbie sees something shocking right behind him.
Aldo, open this door. இங்க ஒரு டோர் இருக்கு. இந்த டோர் ஓபன் பண்ண போறோம். Aldo, வேலை செய்யுதா? ஓபன் ஆகுதா? மேல பாரு. நம்ம ஓபன் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க டைம்ல நம்ம விக்கி கிட்ட கேட்போம். விக்கி வாங்க. டேய்.
That's that too. The shadows.
இரு. டார்ச்.
Someone or something seems to walk from left to right behind the unsuspecting group. When they check out the area, there's just no one there. The four friends decide to take a quick break outside the house to gather their thoughts, and that's when things get truly bizarre.
நான் சத்தியமா பார்த்தேன். இருக்குடா அந்த கேப்ல நின்னுட்டு இருந்துச்சு. சத்தியமா பார்த்தேன். சத்தியமா அது உருவம் தானா இல்ல வேற ஏதாவது ரேண்டமா? நான் வீட்டுக்கு வந்து காட்றேன்டா.
Again, a dark figure can be seen, this time from one of the upstairs windows. The guys go back inside to check it out, and it did not go well.
It doesn't.
அங்க நின்னுட்டு இருந்தா போயிடலாம் ரவி டார்ச் தான் போயிடலாம் ரவி சும்மா நான் அங்கதான் ஒரு உருவத்தை ரவி போயிடலாம் ரவி யாரா ரவி அல்டோ சத்தியமா அங்க ஒரு உருவத்தை பார்த்து ரவி அந்த ரூம்ல இருந்துச்சு ரவி ஏதோ ஒன்று இருந்து ஜன்னல் வழியா உங்களை தான் பார்த்துட்டு இருந்துச்சு ரவி மாத்த சத்தியமா இருந்துச்சு ரவி அப்படிலாம் எதுவும் இருக்காதுடா இருந்துச்சு ரவி விளாடாதீங்க ரவி நான் பார்த்தேங்கிறல சரி சரி வா போலாம் வீடு போலாம்
Now, to be clear, I am in no way saying that what the guys have captured is anything paranormal. It could simply be a squatter or a homeless person in the building. I just don't know. But what I do know is that team member Aldo seems genuinely terrified of what he's seen. Inside the building, he claims he saw a horrifying figure, and he even starts to cry out of fright. Just as Aldo is explaining what he's witnessed, the team is shaken up by a loud bang, and they all run to their scooters and just get out of there. Shortly after, they stop to check on Aldo. Poor Aldo is still in tears, and they decide to just end the video and go home. So what do you think Aldo saw that terrified him this much? Is it all real? Is it all just a hoax?
I think it's real. Whether or not it's paranormal or just a homeless person that scared Aldo, I don't know. But that was a genuine cry.
But if it is a hoax, Aldo either wasn't in on it, or he's one of the best actors ever.
Right?
Because those are real tears. Anyway, as always, you decide. The curse. From the time it was built in the 1960s, the Okago Onsen Inn in Tajimi City, Japan, was met with terrible misfortune. Some believe that the land the inn was built on was cursed from the beginning by a dark spirit. Local legend claims that a woman passed away under horrible circumstances on the property in the mid-1600s, and that she still haunts the property grounds. So, cut to the 1970s, and there is a severe food poisoning incident at the Okago Onsen Inn that absolutely ruins the reputation of the popular hotel. Even worse, soon after this, not one but 2 fires destroy large parts of the building and end several lives. The Okago Onsen Inn was closed down for good. Locals say that the devastating events left the inn's owner in complete financial ruin. In hopelessness and despair, he ended his own life by jumping from the inn's roof. Today, the inn has been abandoned for 40 years, and the building is buried in overgrown weeds and vegetation. Rumors spread that the location is cursed, and that anyone who enters the inn will suffer a horrible fate. Those few who have dared to enter the inn claim that they have seen and heard the spirit of the woman who curses the hotel. They also say that they have seen the apparition of what is believed to be the inn's former owner, who jumped from the roof. So, Japanese paranormal investigators Tomo and Hiro from the YouTube channel Omagatoki Film have heard the terrifying ghost stories and are ready to investigate the allegedly haunted inn. Together with their anonymous cameraman who goes by the name T, they start their investigation of the creepy building. Tomo and Hiro decide to take photos of each other inside the second floor's restroom, which is said to be one of the most active paranormal spots in the entire building. Things quickly take a very eerie turn.
どうですか？ちょっとわからん。いや怖いなここ。行くよ。
Wait. There's a face right there. I'm not talking about this big, obvious one. I'm talking about one behind Hiro's head right here.
It's こっち見てるように見えるね。ああ、見える。確かに見える。本当だ。こっち見てるように見えるね。本当だ。ありえないよね、でも角度的に。ありえない。ここに反射しちゃった。そうだよ。いや。こっち見てない？普通に見てる。
Oh my god, I didn't notice that.
いや見てるよ。見てるよね。見てる。だってさ、これだって目がさ、白目じゃん？黒目でしょ？そう、黒目。しかもなんか睨んでるみたいな。これどう反射したらこうなる？ならんよ。これ普通だね。こっちは普通だ。普通なんだよ。そう、ほぼ普通だ。あれこっちは俺逆にこっち見てんだな。あ、本当だ。あれ？どういうおかしくね？おかしくね？見てこれは普通にまっすぐ見てる。見てるね。確かに。もう
カメラ目線だもん。完全にカメラ目線。
Nothing out of the ordinary can be seen in Tomo's pictures. But when it's Hiro's turn, they discover that in one of the photos, the reflection of his face seems to be staring straight at the camera. The team is a little freaked out, but they shrug it off and decide to head up to the rooftop of the abandoned inn. The rooftop is barely recognizable as it's completely covered in dirt and weeds after being abandoned for 40 years. It is said that the owner of the inn jumped from this rooftop, taking his own life. While exploring, cameraman T gets spooked by something.
おそらくここは飛び降りをした人が当時いたみたいで、まあ多分それが原因で人はなんか噂が女の人の声聞こえた。どこで？全然わからなくて分からないけど。マジで普通に笑い声聞こえたもん。マジで聞こえた？全然聞こえない。全然聞こえない。なんで？うざくね？ここで？
Cameraman T is frightened as he claims he heard the voice of a strange woman whispering in his ear and dropped his camera in fear. Later, the 3 team members watch the footage back that he recorded. They are shocked by what they find.
That's creepy. That's creepy. Cut away, cut away, cut away. That is creepy.
Did you see it? Right after the camera falls, an upside-down face can be seen staring right back at the camera. Could it be that this is the face of the owner who took his own life on that very same rooftop? Or is it the woman's voice who cameraman T heard right before he dropped his camera? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments.
Either way, that is incredibly creepy.
You can watch this full terrifying investigation over on the YouTube channel Omega Toki Film. Meanwhile, on TikTok. TikTok user Nina Enton shared a creepy video of her nephew, Emmy, on her TikTok page. In the video, the boy discovers the hidden nanny cam that's carefully placed in his bedroom to keep a safe eye on him. But what happens next is downright chilling.
Where's Mama? Ask her Mama. Oh, sorry.
The terrifying face of what appears to be an elderly woman can be seen staring at the camera. Nina claims her nephew was alone in his room at the time of this recording. Now, fake or not, when I first saw this video, it freaked me out. So, either way, the video is definitely very creepy. But as for whether it's real or fake, as always, you decide.
Yeah, that could just be a face on whatever the kid's holding. Yeah, it's like a facial cream product or something like that.
In another video, TikTok user 17275C claims that he bought a haunted ring and that ever since he brought it home, strange things have started happening around his house.
I heard some noise down here, not the washing machine, but some like weird thumping, and this thing was rocking back and forth when I came down here.
Doors started shaking, unexplained voices can be heard at night, and a rocking chair suddenly started rocking back and forth all on its own. TikTok user 17275C shares his experiences on a regular basis on his TikTok page. One night, he films as he starts to feel sick from the paranormal activity around his house. Later, TikTok viewers are shocked when they see something in the video that he did not see. Something truly bizarre.
Going to go and
Okay, I saw that too.
my car for tonight. I'm not feeling good. I'm actually starting to get.
Did you see it? TikTok user 17275C is completely unaware that the dark silhouette of someone or something can be seen standing right behind him in a room. He explains in another video that he had no idea what was with him in his house, and that since this incident, he has been staying with a friend, too scared to return to his home. So is it real? Or is it all just an elaborate TikTok hoax? You decide. Thanks for watching. Follow.
Well, that's kind of what happens when you buy haunted rings. So, all right, guys. Another successful Saturday Night Scares. Those are some good ones. Those are some good ones. They got me going pretty good. But if you enjoyed, let me know what you think down in the comments. I can't guarantee that I'll be able to do Mr. Nightmare every time. This was just kind of a one-time rarity thing. So subscribe if you're new, if you want to enjoy more content like this, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, and God bless. All glory to